All right, well, now we're going to talk about this guy, Rene Descartes, who you saw a little dirty tape about and was kind of funny, I hope. And Descartes is a pretty important guy, because what Descartes did is figure out why it is that the world really can be understood through science. And Descartes did this by making God kind of the god of science and math. And it's a pretty cool thing, all in all. So let's figure out how he did this and what it is that he did. First, can you doubt anything that you see? And the answer is, well, of course you can. You can doubt that you're sitting there in that cubicle if that's where you are. You can doubt that you have a body. In fact, this is what I didn't want to tell you. Really, right now you're in the back of an ambulance rushing to the hospital and everything that you're thinking is simply a fantasy. No, that's probably not true. Actually, what is true is that you just turned off that snooze alarm and it's about to go off and you're about to have this whole day because you never really had it, you just dreamed it. No, that's probably not true either. But both of those things could be true, even though they're probably not true, because you don't know for sure if all the things you see are really there the way you think you see them. Your senses can be mistaken. In fact, you don't even know if your body really exists. Now, you'd be crazy if you thought that your body didn't really exist, but you don't know for sure that it exists. So Descartes was trying to figure out, what is it that I can know without a doubt? And why do I care? Because Descartes wanted math to work. And the thing that he figured out, I got to get a marker here, and the thing that he figured out is that math is stuff that we can really know. And there's some things that we know that we can never doubt, it seems, and those things are the things that he calls simple ideas. So let me write that on the board, simple idea. And simple doesn't mean easy. It means you can't cut it into pieces. An example of a simple idea is the idea of number. So, for example, there's only one person standing in this room right now. And either you understand the idea of one or you don't. The idea of infinity is also simple because you can't cut infinity in half and have it any less than an infinity. So we may have talked about if I say you're infinitely stupid and you say you're infinitely stupid plus one, well, ha-ha, I win because once you're an infinite stupid, you're as stupid as it gets. Anyway, so infinity you know all at once. You know number all at once. You know shape. Either round is round or it isn't round. It isn't like I get half of round. I either grasp the whole thing at once or I don't. So it's a simple idea, and I know it with complete certitude. There's the trick. Well, how do I know that 2 is 2? And Descartes says you know it because you have this thing called intuition. And that does not mean, oh my God, I have this intuition about like things are going to happen. Wrong. Intuition means I have certainty that 2 equals 2. And I know that because my mind just grasps it automatically. I am intuitively certain, intuition, I am intuitively certain that 5 plus 2 equals 9. That's right. Nor is it 5 plus 7 equals 12. Or a square, if I take a line and draw it from one diagonal to the other diagonal, and it's a perfect square, then I will have how many right triangles? 2! So these are things I know certainly because I know them with intuitive certainty, just like I know 2 plus 2 will equal 4 every time intuitively. But now the question is, why do you trust that intuition? And Descartes wants to say, well, I can also doubt the sensible world, as I've said, but I can even doubt these simples, and the simples are shape, number, and substance. Substance means everything I see has got to be made out of something. So, for example, whatever you are looking at now is at least something, and he calls that substance what he calls extended substance, substance that takes up space. So anyway, substance, shape, number in general, these are things I know with intuitive certainty, but maybe my intuition is messed up. Maybe I could be on the most wild, crazy-ass acid trip of all times. And that is possible, not that that is possible anymore in my life, obviously, but it is possible that your intuition is completely faulty. For example, maybe, and this is what Descartes says, there could be an evil demon. Now stop. There is no evil demon. Descartes does not believe in an evil demon. He never believed in an evil demon, and the evil demon is not the devil and has nothing to do with evil on earth. Go again. The evil demon is how Descartes says, if there were an evil demon as powerful as it was evil, it could mess up my intuition so that I just think that 2 plus 2 equals 4, but really it equals 8 or 9 or some other crazy number, who knows. So with an evil demon, he can say, I can even doubt simple ideas. Maybe my intuition is faulty. Maybe my senses are faulty. Holy cow, I don't know anything. But if I don't know anything, the one thing I know is I'm thinking about the fact that I don't know anything. And who's doing that thinking? Me. I'm thinking, so I am. And that's what he says. He says, Cogito Ergo Sum. I think, therefore I am. And I am not a whole lot right now because I am just a thinking thing. But with that one point of absolute certainty, I think, therefore I am, he can then set the stage for everything. And the cool part is once I know that I think, what other ideas do I have in my mind? One of the ideas I have in my mind is God. And if God's right, well, we're going to find out about why your car does not explode in just a few minutes. And it has to do with the fact that you think, therefore you know that you are, and that you can think up the idea of God. I'll see you in a second or two. Turn this off.